Hello everyone, my name is Charu. I'm a verbal trainer for GRE, GMAT, SAT, ACT exams, and I have been helping students for more than 2 decades now. And today I'm going to discuss very important topic on the SAT, which is called vocabulary in context questions, which makes approximately 10 to 15% of your whole test. So you can see 3 or maximum 5, 6 questions on SAT. So let's start. Look at this sentence. John is well known for being dash. And I have 4 options: cunning, credulous, irascible, benevolent. He can be well known for anything. He can be cunning, he can be credulous, he can be irascible, he can be benevolent, because we don't know who is John. So definitely it's not a question of SAT. Now look at this question differently. Now let's read. John is well known for being dash because he frequently gives money to charity. Okay, so if he is well known for being dash, he is well known for being what? So if I read, I see he frequently gives money to charity. So if he gives money to charity, he is a kind person, right? So if he's kind, he's definitely benevolent, because what information is given about John is he gives money to charity. He is a good person. He is a kind person. And that makes one choice better than the other. That is called clue. So this portion is the clue for the blank. Clue will always be there in the sentence. You just have to look for it. So clue is going to make your one choice better than the others. And if you have a difficulty in finding the clue, ask yourself simple 2 questions. Look for who or what is the blank talking about. That means find the subject. Now, what information is the sentence providing you about the subject? That information is the clue. Okay, so ask yourself 2 questions. What is the blank talking about? And what information is the sentence providing you for the subject? So look for the clues. Sorry. Let's look at the questions again. Here, what is the blank talking about? John. And what information is given about John? That he gives money to charity. So that's why he is a kind person, he is a benevolent person. So clue will always be there, look for it. And I have told you the way to find it. So let's look at this question. As used in the text, what does the word plastic most nearly means? Okay. So first I find the word plastic. I can create a blank here. We know that human brain is highly dash. And I noticed semicolon. By the way, semicolon and colons, they are very good keywords to indicate where is a clue. So clue will be after these indicators. Neurons and synapses change as the circumstances change. So it keeps changing. So we know that human brain is highly dash. Neurons and synapses change as the circumstances change. So it keeps changing, then it is what? It cannot be creative, it can't be artificial. It will be malleable because it's like a clay, it keeps changing. It can't be sculptural because once you have made a sculpture, you can't keep changing it. It remains fixed. Now let's plug in. We know that a human brain is highly malleable. Neuron and synapses change as circumstances change. Makes sense? So you should always plug in and reread whatever word you have chosen. This step really helps us in making the choice better in the difficult questions where the answer choices are very, very close. Not only clues, but you may also have keywords in the sentence. Now, they may have. We may have, that means it may or may not be there. But clue is always there. So if the keywords are there, they're going to help you in finding where is a clue. I love these examples. I really like you and. So I really like you and I want to complete it. Let's say I say, I can go out with you. Why I'm saying I can go out with you, or I want to go out with you. I want to, let's say. Why I'm saying I want to go out with you? Because I like you. and is a similarity indicator. So if here I have a positive tone, here also I need a positive tone. If here I have negative, then I need negative. But when look at this next sentence, I really like you, but now I want to change it. I can't go out with you. I'm preparing for a city. So I really like you, but I can't go out with you. Why I'm using can't? Here I have positive thought, here I need negative thought because of the word but. But is a contrast keyword. So we have a list of contrast and similarity indicators. So contrast keywords will ask you to choose a word opposite to your clue. Okay. And agree side, similarity indicators are going to help you choose a word similar to their clue. So this includes your semicolon, colon, since, frequently, so, or, and all. Look at this example now. And let's see how your keyword is going to help you. Which choice completes a text with most logical and precise word or phrase? Did you notice that I'm reading the question first? I'm not reading the sentence. Why? This is the basic strategy you should apply in all the SAT questions. That read the question stem, then the text. Okay, because the questions will keep changing with each paragraph. So it's always good to save your time by reading the question and then keeping the question in mind and then read the text. Okay, that half the human race is excluded by the other half from any participation in government. That half human race is excluded by the other half from any participation in the government. Then I notice semicolon, similarity indicator. That means I need similar thought in the next sentence. That they are dashed by birth, but foreign by law in the very land where they were born. Okay. So you can solve the sentence here itself because dash by birth, but foreign by law. But is a contrast indicator, so I need an opposite to foreign by law. Opposite to foreign is they are natives. Now let's plug in that half the human race is excluded by the other half from any participation in the government, that they are native by birth but foreign by law in the very land where they were born. It fits in well. Then again, as noticed semicolon, and that they are property owners, yet have no direct influence or representation, are all political phenomena apparently impossible to explain an abstract principle. Okay. Broadly, they are talking about females, right? But that's not important to know. Just understand how this thought is helping you, how your keyword is helping you, how your clue is helping you in choosing the word. So it can't be primitive, it can't be local, it can't be original. It is native because it is opposite to foreign. Let's look at another example. Again, the keyword is going to help you. Which choice completes a text with the most logical and precise word or a phrase? Okay. We believe that the bases will be present almost entirely in their most probable forms. If this is true, the conditions for forming hydrogen bonds are more dash. So what is the blank talking about? The conditions, that's my subject. And what information is about the condition given? And the only pairs of the bases possible are adenine with thymine and guanine and cytosine. So the only pairs, that means very limited pairs. And is a similarity indicator. So that means I need something similar, limited. That's what restricted is. So believe that the bases will be present almost entirely in their most probable forms. If this is true, the conditions for forming the hydrogen bonds are more restrictive. Why I'm saying restricted? Because it says the only pairs of bases possible are adenine with thymine and guanine with cytosine. So restrictive will work. So the basic approach in vocab and context by now you should understand is the first read the sentence, find the story. Find the story means find a clue, which is always there in the sentence. Look for it. And if you have a difficulty in finding, ask yourself two questions. What is the blank talking about? And what information is given about that subject? That information is a clue. Keywords can be similarity keywords. They can be contrast keywords. So they can be similarity. They can be contrast. Look for them, and they're going to help you in choosing the word similar to or opposite to your clue. Then sentence layout. Now, what is sentence layout? So sometimes the words like the indicators like colon, semicolon, they help you in choosing where is the clue. So the clue can come after that. Similarly, if we have a blank and then I have a comma, the sentence after the comma is the clue for the blank, right? Similarly, if you have blank, then we have comma, and then again we have a comma and sentence flows. The information between the two commas is a clue. When we have a blank, we have that after it. The sentence after that is the hint for the blank. So sentence layout also helps us, as we have seen in the case of colon and semicolon, and you will also see the examples of that, commas, etc. Okay. Then, of course, predict the blank. Choose a simple word. Then compare your word with the answer choices. And the very important step, as I mentioned earlier, plug in and reread. Plug in the chosen answer choice and reread. This is going to help you a lot in the difficult questions. Let's look at another example. As used in the text, what does the word best most nearly mean? So where we have best, let's scan the word. Here I notice best. Let's read it. So you can read from the middle also. You can refer to this context itself, or if you want, you can refer to the previous one, because the hint will be there in the similar sentence or one sentence above, one sentence below. So though disenfranchised, though they got the right to vote, we have few women in the dash sense. Which sense? I have a semicolon, I have a hint here, I have a clue here. We have simply so many reflections, varieties, delusions of masculine gender. So we have few women in the dash sense. That means we have simply so many reflections, varieties, and delusions of masculine gender. That means the females also have reflections of masculine gender. So we have very few women in the true sense. So for true sense, it should be genuine sense. They are not superior, they are not excellent, they are not rarest. So sentence structure, sentence layout does help. Now let's look at an official question, which is a practice test 1, module 1, question 1. So let's see how these steps are going to help you in this official one. So which choice completes a text with the most logical and precise word or phrase? Former astronaut, whatever is the name, I don't care. You can also ignore that. Former astronaut says that although she doesn't have a definite idea of when it might happen, she dash that humans will someday need to be able to live in the other environments than those found on Earth. So although is a contrast keyword, although she doesn't have an idea, she doesn't have a definite idea. So if she doesn't have an idea when it might happen, she dash that. She does what? She guesses. Right? Because when you don't have a definite idea, what do? You guess that humans will someday need to be able to live on the other environment than those found on Earth. Now, these are very important keywords. This, these, such. Pay attention to those. When you say this conjecture, that means I must have discussed about this conjecture earlier in the sentence. Conjecture means you're just guessing. You're making speculations. This guess informs her interest in future research mission to the moon. So that means she guesses the only word matching is speculates. It can't be demands, it can't be doubts, because if she is doubting, she is not sure about whether it is going to happen or not. So it should be, she speculates. Now let's read it with the chosen word. Former astronaut that says that although she doesn't have a definite idea of when it might happen, she speculates that humans will someday need to be able to live on the other environment than those found on Earth. This conjecture informs her interest in the future research mission, blah, 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 blah. So that's okay. So that makes sense. Now let's look at so here I also want to highlight the information after that is also going to help you in choosing the clue and the keyword although. One more question, the last question of the day. That's again an official question. Which choice completes a text with most logical and precise word of the phrase? Let's read. Beginning in 1950s, legislator Annie Dodge continuously worked to promote public health. And then I notice a semicolon. And then we have this. As I mentioned, this is very important. This means I must have discussed about it earlier. This dash effort. Which effort? That she continuously worked to promote public health. This dash effort involved traveling throughout the vast Navajo homeland and writing a medical dictionary for the speakers of the Navajo language. Okay, so what do I know about the effort that she is doing is continuously? If it is continuous, it is what? It is persistent. So your clue will make one choice better than the other. Otherwise, it can be an offhand effort also. It can be mandatory one also. It can be impartial effort also. But what is given about this word in the sentence is continuously worked. That means persistent. Now, let's plug in. Beginning in 1950, Navajo Nation legislator Annie continuously worked to promote public health. This persistent effort involved traveling throughout the vast Navajo homeland and writing a medical dictionary for the speakers of the Navajo language. Perfect. Makes sense. Offhand is casual. So we don't have any hint for this, nor impartial, nor mandatory. So I hope this session would be helpful for you to solve vocab in context questions.